What's happening? I hope you're all well. So in this video I want to talk about the fact that you should not worry about things that you can't control. It's going to happen whether you want it to happen, don't want it to happen. Sometimes things happen that are absolutely not in your control. Now the things that are in your control, I wouldn't necessarily say worry about it, but do what you can. Do what you can to achieve said goal. But if there's something you can't control, I would not worry about it. And I know that that's easier said than done, because even when you're not consciously trying to worry about it, your subconscious can play tricks on you. But as much as possible, don't worry about things that you can't control. So examples could be, you have applied for a job and you're waiting for said employer to get back to you, but you have actually applied the best you can. You filled in your application, you've done your background search, you've done your research, you've compiled your personal statement, your CV, and you sent your application across. From there on in, you can't really control what happens. You've done your bit. You focused on what you can control. What happens after that is what happens after that, and you ultimately can't control it. So don't worry. Because the thing about worrying, another example could be, you put everything into a relationship, whether it be a relationship with a guy or a girl. I'm talking about both genders. You could be a guy or a girl, you put everything into a relationship and it hasn't worked out. As much as possible, don't worry about it. It's easier said than done, and we're always going to do it to a degree, but as much as possible, we got to be focusing on walking forwards as I am right now, as opposed to backtracking. Because what happens is, when you focus too much on the past and what you can't control and external factors that you ultimately have no say in what happens, what you're doing is you're departing with energy. It costs a lot of energy. Like, when you're sitting there thinking and worrying about things, it makes you mentally tired, and what happens in the brain center controls what happens in the rest of the body. So this is energy that you could be putting towards other things. I find that when I sit and ruminate, I don't do it so much now, but when you sit and ruminate about things, you use up a lot of mental resources. And I found that when I don't do that, my creativity levels rise, because I've got more mental energy at my disposal. So when you are out here worrying, overthinking, multiple scenario simulating, you're thinking of multiple scenarios and simulating in your mind, if this happens, that'll happen, if that happens, then this will happen. You're just using up energy, because ultimately what's going to happen is what's going to happen. So there's so many different examples I could use. Applying for job, relationship, like, are you gonna get that mortgage approved? Are you gonna get that YouTube channel that you've been working on to blow up? If you've taken the steps and that no stone has been left unturned, you've turned over every stone, you put in all the work, you've applied yourself to that relationship, to that job application, to that business startup, to that YouTube channel, trying to make it work with people that aren't trying to make it work with you, then you can lie down and sleep like a baby. It's only when you know that you could have done better, you could have tried harder, that's where it will niggle at you. That's when you should be thinking, do you know what, next, either this time, either I'm going to come again, or I'm going to come again, or I'm going to come again harder next time. But ultimately, you really should not be worrying about things that you can't control. you know. And I'm guilty of it as well, you know. Like sometimes I'll sit and think, man, like, I wish this would be moving at a faster pace. I wish that I was in a better position at my age, you know. But God sets out his plan, and sometimes it's not what you had in mind. So you think that, you know, thinking in linear terms, that by this age you should be doing this, by that age you should be doing that. Now, it's good to make plans, it's good to set goals, but if you have put everything forward to make that goal happen and it didn't happen, like, you shouldn't use up mental energy worrying about it, because that's only going to set you back even further. I notice the universe can be like quicksand. Like, the more you sort of let I can't even explain it, but like, it's like there's certain traps. Like, if you start thinking about things too much, or you let certain forces sort of distract you, it's like it sort of makes you even worse off. That's a very, very bad explanation, but I think I've got a good explanation for it now. There's like these forces in the universe that want to take your energy, and that can manifest in thoughts, that can manifest in external situations, and it's almost like a trap to take your energy. And the more energy you apply to that situation, the less energy that you're left with. And sometimes it's really good to just maintain your center, maintain your core, and not let external factors decrease the energy that you have, because that energy could be better used for your benefit. So yeah, just to round off, don't let things that you can't control bother you. You really shouldn't. Anyway, let me know what you thought about what I spoke about in this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description. With that, enjoy the rest of your day. See you on the next one.